Welcome to the Orgasmic Lifestyle Podcast by Venus O'Hara. I'm here to welcome you into the world of orgasmic living by hosting experts to discuss orgasmic topics such as nutrition, spirituality, personal development, sexuality, and much more. Here, we will offer lifestyle lessons that can help you lead a fulfilling, joyous, and orgasmic lifestyle. I'm your guide, Venus O'Hara. Welcome to the 39th episode of the Orgasmic Lifestyle Podcast by Venus O'Hara. In this Wolf Moon episode, I'll be discussing goddess treatment only, self-worth, and how to upgrade your life in 2023. I'll also be sharing a fetish story called An Afternoon of Foot Worship. Then I'll be discussing the book I'm reading now, which is The Essential Rumi, translated by Coleman Barks. And finally, we'll be experiencing a guided meditation with affirmations for goddess treatment only. But first, let's talk about my mantra for 2023, goddess treatment only. Goddess treatment only. This has become my mantra over the last few weeks, and also it's become my mantra for this new year of 2023. One of my friends sent me a picture of this phrase, goddess treatment only, and it seemed to make a lot of sense to me. It really resonated with me, and it felt like this was the direction I needed to take my life into. And it's also the same for many other women that I am spending my time with, an amazing group of female friends that I have made over the last few months. And strong female friendships has been something that I have really craved in my life. I think I used to think of myself as someone who perhaps had more male friends, and I didn't really like maybe the competitiveness of other women. I didn't feel at ease. Whereas now I just feel totally inspired by the women who surround me. And I think it's kind of like we bounce off each other. And my group of female friends seems to be growing and growing. And it all seems to be incredible, good goddess vibes. So I'm so grateful. And I think for the women around me as well, it's making a lot of sense to them, this phrase of goddess treatment only. And what does that really mean? It means not to put up with things that are not goddess-like, things that are not taking us to the next level. And this can apply to work, social life, love life, and the partners we attract, and also our environments. And I think it's really making a lot of sense to all the people that I'm spending my time with right now. So we are becoming accountable in our goddess treatment requirements right now. And I do feel this massive shift as soon as 2023 came in. I think I was feeling very attracted to someone in my life. I'm not going to mention who because, it's a real person. And let's just say he's totally not on my wavelength. But the attraction was very physical. And I was thinking about him far too much. But I knew that he wasn't my man. And I was thinking, why don't I feel attracted to someone who is on my wavelength? What is wrong with me? Or how am I seeing myself? And I think that's something I've had to kind of deal with in the past. And I feel sometimes I've had a bit of imposter syndrome when I'm around someone who I deem to be a high achiever or successful or attractive or whatever. I might think that I'm not good enough for them. I've also felt a lot of imposter syndrome in my work as well. I remember I was enjoying a very, very affluent few years, and I've always felt as though every time I sent an invoice, which was for quite a big amount, that it was a kind of a fluke, or that I didn't really deserve it. And that's how I was feeling last year. Whereas this year is completely different. I'm negotiating some really exciting things at the moment, but I'm not just saying yes to everything, whereas I would have a couple of years ago or even a year ago. And now I'm kind of willing to take risks because I believe that my self-worth has just increased so much, and the way I see myself has improved a lot. It's completely upgraded my self-vision, or however you would want to call it. And also I think how we see ourselves, it's definitely influences our realities and the life we lead. And I'm very grateful in the fact that I am more and more so. I am frequenting very nice places. I'm a member of an incredible private members club where I go every day. And there's a beautiful gym there. There is a spa, people that I really like. And I'm kind of walking around streets that inspire me, seeing beautiful things every day and not taking it for granted. Because over Christmas, I actually did do some charity work on Christmas Eve, feeding the homeless, which was a very insightful experience. I've never done anything like that before. And it was enlightening, and also it really helped me to appreciate all the things I have, especially when I got home that night and got into my warm bed and thinking about people who don't have that, and they're always looking for somewhere, just to sleep for the night, and they know in the morning someone will move them on because they're in someone's doorway. Or I've just seen tonight, for example, on the street where I live, I saw someone setting up a tent, and I know that's not going to be allowed I know tomorrow it won't be there. But I can't imagine, wow, what it must be like to live in that constant struggle of trying to just live day by day. I think I think that it's good to appreciate these things. Of course, you can't just live in an abundant bubble and take things for granted. I am very aware, and I acknowledge everything, all of my blessings. I think that's such an important thing as well. But what is really puzzling me in my life is sometimes the choice of men that I've made, or the men that I feel that are available to me. And sometimes I think I saw something on Instagram just yesterday talking about, when you're hungry and you want a cake, you shouldn't accept the crumbs. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's something like that. And I can understand that quite a lot, because right now I'm in a situation where I would love to have, it's been a while since I've had sex, like a few months. And the people that, the suitors in my life right now, I don't think are quite right. Even though I feel like, oh, should I do it? Because I haven't done it for a while. So I think I have to that's not really goddess mindset, to think like that, to have the crumbs. And I'm not trying to say that anyone is better than someone else. It's all about compatibility and being with the person who's going to pick you up and raise you to something else, to elevate you and make you feel really good. Whereas I think it's really important to have similar values. And I think you have to be very clear about what your values are and what your red flags are. And if someone has a couple of red flags, you can't just say, oh, well, and just ignore them. I think they're going to become more prominent if you ignore them with time. Yeah, so that is it. Goddess treatment only. It refers to everything, and also with work things as well. And knowing your worth. I think for myself as a freelancer, it's right at the beginning of the year. So I'm trying to look for new collaborations, and also to try and step out of my comfort zone and do kind of approach companies and that I probably wouldn't have had the balls to a year ago, because you've got nothing to lose. And in my time, I've done some incredible mailings over the last 14 years I did leave my job in real estate to become a sex blogger, and it's been my full-time job for 14 years, which is no small achievement. And I have to remind myself sometimes about the great achievements that I have made just from writing an email. And that's something I've been quite good at over the years. I've achieved book deals, media collaborations, front pages of magazines, TV appearances. And so I need to kind of really make a plan, write lots of emails, and just focus on the ones that come back with positive results. So I think our environment is so important, not just about being in a place that is, comfortable and beautiful, but definitely when it comes to the people we are spending our time with. And I have had, something that I don't like about Barcelona, because where I live in Barcelona, it's a very transient city. And even though I've been here for many, many, many years, my group of friends has been constantly evolving, and that can be tiring sometimes. But at the same time, when I look back at those friends that have left my life, I feel as though I wasn't loving myself enough, or that I was accepting certain friendships that were not as understanding, or as, I don't know what the word would be, stimulating, and just to not be alone sometimes. But the good thing is that everyone has, that the fact that people have left my life has helped me to evolve to the situation I'm in now, which is amazing. I think we need other people. And I did see in an interview yesterday, I think it was with Gloria Steinem, that she said something like, solitary confinement is a torture because we do need people. And I think it's important to be around people who are going to boost you and encourage you, and you encourage them in return. And that's what Goddess Treatment is all about. It's about being with people who are going to see the goddess in you, and you see the goddess in them. And that's going to help you achieve a goddess lifestyle. Goddess Treatment only. Are you looking for a new sex toy? Maybe you have no sex toys. In case you are, I recommend checking out Satisfyer.com. That's SATISFYER.com. So it's like Satisfyer, but with a Y instead of an I. And on that website, you will find a huge selection of pleasure products, many to choose from, for couples, for men, for women, for clitoral stimulation, dual stimulation, anal stimulation, whatever you want. And with the discount code Venus, you can enjoy 30% off any of your orgasmic purchases. So check out Satisfyer.com and use the discount code Venus for 30% off. Enjoy. Now it's time for this episode's erotic story. An Afternoon of Foot Worship by Venus O'Hara. Sit down and close your eyes, he says, pointing to a black leather sofa. I obey, a little surprised that he wants to get down to business as soon as I arrive at his office. He covers my eyes with a blindfold, and I sigh. Suddenly I feel a lot more relaxed, because from this point onwards, I know that I won't have to do or think about anything. I can just lie down and enjoy some superior quality foot worship. He unties the laces of my red Converse and takes them off with great care. I notice the cold temperature of the tiled floor through the thin fabric of my white socks. Then he grabs my ankle and raises it before resting it on his shoulder. I sigh again and throw my head back, relaxing even more. He grabs my other ankle, but instead of putting it on his other shoulder, he holds it firmly, making me feel like his prey, and I start to notice my arousal. Moments later, he releases me and begins to peel my sock off very slowly, as if he were undressing me. My sock suddenly seems to have the same significance as a pair of panties. I can feel the cold air against my skin, and then a breath of hot air from his mouth that takes me by complete surprise. I feel his warm, wet kisses on my skin as each new piece of it is exposed. As soon as he removes my sock, he takes my naked foot in both hands. I am helpless, as I feel his hot breath against the soles of my feet, tickling me. I arch my foot, laugh, and my whole body reacts. He grips my foot with even more authority. "Are you ticklish?" he asks. I nod and tilt my head back even further in anticipation of his next move. He sucks my big toe. He begins to drool and his breath deepens. It seems as though he needs this foot fetish worship session as much as I do. Then I feel the tip of his tongue flicking against the delicate skin between my big toe and my second toe. It's like the foot fetish equivalent of cunnilingus, especially when he separates my toes with his fingers. At that moment, it's as if he were spreading my legs. Suddenly, my sighs become moans, but just when I'm really beginning to enjoy his devotion and attention, he lowers my foot to the floor and lets go of it. Is the foot fetish worship session over already? I wonder, trying not to show my disappointment. But luckily for me, he says, "Now it's time for the other foot." The book I'm reading now is The Essential Rumi, translations by Coleman Barks. I got this book in 2020 because I really did love all of the poems and phrases that I'd seen from Rumi, and I wanted to discover some more. But when I got the book, I didn't feel that it was a very easy read. It's something to kind of randomly open on a page and just see and just read a poem or two. It's not something you can kind of read like a novel. And I'm actually still reading the book by Caitlin Moran called More Than a Woman, but I've already spoken about that on this podcast. But today I wanted to share one of my favourite poems from this book, that's of translations of Rumi's poems. And there is a poem in the chapter 8, called Being a Lover, the Sunrise Ruby. And the actual poem is called Water from Your Spring, and I just find it to be so amazing. Anyway, relax and listen to this. Water from your spring. What was in that candle's light that opened and consumed me so quickly? Come back, my friend. The form of our love is not a created form. Nothing can help me but that beauty. There was a dawn, I remember, when my soul heard something from your soul. I drank water from your spring and felt the current take me. And that is the book I'm reading now, The Essential Rumi, translations by Coleman Barks. Now it's time to slow things down as we prepare for this episode's guided affirmations meditation. It's probably not a good idea to listen to this while driving or operating machinery. Instead, take a break from whatever you're doing, get comfortable, take a deep breath, and enjoy. I am a goddess. I deserve the very best. I know my worth. I appreciate my blessings. I am surrounded by people who love and support me. I spend my time wisely. Goddess treatment only. I am a goddess. I deserve the very best. I honor myself. I acknowledge my power. I am grateful for my goddess lifestyle. I am attracting a partner who acknowledges my goddess status. Goddess treatment only. I am a goddess. I deserve the very best. People treat me very well. I am magically magnetic. Others feel good when they are around me. My goddess vibration is always increasing. Goddess treatment only. I am a goddess. I deserve the very best. I eat the best foods. I treat myself with respect and loving kindness. My body is a temple. I am radiating divine feminine energy. Goddess treatment only. Are you looking for a new sex toy? Maybe you have no sex toys. In case you are, I recommend checking out Satisfyer.com. That's SATISFYER.com. So it's like Satisfyer but with a Y instead of an I. And on that website you will find a huge selection of pleasure products, many to choose from, for couples, for men, for women, for clitoral stimulation, dual stimulation, anal stimulation, whatever you want. And with the discount code VENUS, you can enjoy 30% off any of your orgasmic purchases. So check out Satisfyer.com and use the discount code VENUS for 30% off. Enjoy! To find out more about me and my orgasmic lifestyle, visit venusohara.org or follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/venusohara. Make sure to search for the Orgasmic Lifestyle Podcast by Venus O'Hara in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening, have an orgasmic week, and make sure every day is a climax.